This is a quick outline of how we may potentially be able to move to a better world, abolish the current state of reality in that there's slavery in the third world, wage slavery in the first world, poverty all across the world, large-scale war and violence in specific regions of the world. And I'll just run through it real quick. And the goal first, I will explain the end goal of this protopic program. Essentially, the idea is that we want to create a anarcho-anti-realist, unironic Soulist world order of localized communities or whalettes, bubbles of unreality that govern themselves through direct democracy and liquid democracy, as well as situationally in specific scenarios, representative democracy that is up to high checks and balances on the localized level with retraction of representation and mechanisms thereof. So, the economic side of this thing. What is the economic goal of such a society? Well, it's to limit private property rights to the extent that people still have private property, but they cannot hoard wealth or property beyond a reasonable amount. They will not be able to create unjust hierarchy through the hoarding of wealth and property, and the government will be dissolved into a healthy commons. Sorry, I'm saying a lot. Basically, the idea is library economies, or library systems of distribution of common or personal property, wherein you will act as a librarian to lend out property and hope if they do not return it in the condition that you see fit. Say if they let a tool rust, you ask them to clean it with some vinegar or something like that. Scrub it with some vinegar. Either you can provide it or they can provide it, or it would be provided through a local... I'm getting ahead of myself. Or it would be provided through a local transparent community bank, which would have other responsibilities I'll get to later. Then, beyond the library economy, there would be a gift economy similar to Burning Man, how people just give people stuff without expecting anything in return. It's a very strong social capital-based community, and I hope that we can emulate that in the wider world as a pioneering model of cooperation in the communities that we live in and that we partake in. Sorry, I need to stop saying time banking, and as I said, community-owned and operated cooperative banks or credit unions, local credit unions. Now you can combine all of these systems into a social dashboard, bureaucratically controlled and operated by AI agents. This sort of thing already exists, and there's already the infrastructure available for it. It's just that it requires specific interested individuals to take the time out of their day to program and organize transparently in open source fashions the mechanisms of this social revolution that is nonviolent, that is more social and more cooperative and more powerful and more effective and more genuine and honest and beautiful. It's better. I mean, everyone would love this, especially if it incorporated cooperation from the opposition without cooperating with the opposition. You know what I'm saying? And cooperating and containing and allying with affinity groups. So, for instance, vanguards could act as, vanguard parties could act as controlled affinity groups for such a revolution. as well as anarcho-capitalists, people that are anti-authoritarian but like private property more. Furthermore, I forgot to mention the community banks, the cooperative banks or credit unions would most likely deal in localized and globalized. There'd be both a global autonomous region and global scale to the economy that scales through different levels. And you can theoretically add like 3, 10, 100 layers to this system and have AI directly pool and control these resources decades or centuries ahead in time. So that, we're not cutting out people that are, later on in human history as people have for us. We don't have to commit that sunk cost fallacy as others have before us and continue to as we speak. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts. I would highly appreciate it. I'm interested to see what y'all have to say. If y'all have any constructive criticism or non-constructive criticism or interests and comments, concerns, etc.